Hello children, let's begin our maths class. Today we are going to start with a new exercise. Which exercise, children? Yes, 2.8. Today we are going to continue with exercise 2.8, and this exercise 2.8 is similar to exercise 2.5. You can just refer your exercise 2.5, which was in page 63. Yes, children? So mostly your exercise 2.5 and exercise 2.8 is the same. So let us go for the work. So take down your class work, write down today's date, give the heading exercise 2.8, give the heading exercise 2.8. So we are going to follow the same steps as we have followed for our exercise 2.5. Get on the first question. Find all values of x for which x cube x minus 1 upon x minus 2 is greater than 0. This is a very easy exercise and you may have these questions for 3 marks. Have you taken on the question, children? Let's take on the question. X cube x minus 1 upon x minus 2 is greater than 0. So this is what we have to find out, the values, all values. They are asking you find out all values of x. So let's go for the work over here. The first thing is you have to find out the critical values. So let us find out the critical values over here. See here, critical values means we have to just see. Like in the previous case, we factorized it. Yes, children, we factorized the inequality and then we got the factors. And we are going to take the factors as the critical value. So here we get, suppose, just consider x cube is equal to 0. So you get x is equal to 0. Okay, children? X minus 1 is equal to 0. You get x is equal to 1. I'm just going to take this numbers over here. So x cube is equal to 0, I get x is 0. I'll take x minus 1 is 0, I get x is equal to 1. X minus 2 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 2. So I get the values for x as 0, x as 1, x as 2. Just from the question. So here no need of factorizing, I can just directly take the values for x. Then I have taken the value for here. I get the value as 1. When I take the denominator part, I get the value as 2. Therefore, critical values are 0, 1, 2. Therefore, critical values are 0, 1, 2. Okay, children, have you taken on the critical values? Okay, so now you have to write down the that is, you have to draw the number line first. After drawing the number line, we will find out the interval. What are the possible intervals? We will take down. So let us draw a number line. The same manner as we proceeded for our exercise 2.5. Okay. Have you taken down? So we have got the critical values. Now let us go for the number line. So draw a number line. You have to take your scale and pencil. You have to use your scale and pencil to draw the number line. No hand drawn works. Okay, now listen here. I have told you that whenever you plot a number line, the last two numbers, that is, you have to take a minus infinity on the negative side and you are going to take positive infinity on the positive side. So just take here minus infinity on the left side and take here plus infinity on the right side. So this is what we have to always follow, minus infinity and infinity whenever you are dealing with the inequality. Okay, children? Okay, so now we have to place 0, 1 and 2. So suppose you have your 0, 1 will be over here and 2 will be here. So we have drawn the number line. So now we are going to choose the interval. What will the interval now here? The first interval will be from minus infinity to 0, and next you can take 0 to 1, then you can take 1 to 2, and you can take 2 to infinity. So totally we get here 4 intervals. Okay children, 4 intervals: minus infinity to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to infinity. And I have told you that whenever you use an interval, try to use a open bracket. No need to use a closed bracket. You have to use a open bracket, like a closed bracket. This is called an open bracket, and in this we call as closed bracket. You know the difference of this. Closed bracket means the numbers are included, and open means the numbers are excluded. The last numbers are excluded. Okay, so just write down the critical values. I hope you are clear with this part. So you would have got how we got the values for x, that is we have found the critical values. After getting the critical values, you are going to plot the critical values on the number line. So we have drawn a number line, and remember always you have to take minus infinity and plus infinity, and then you have to just plot the points 0, 1, 2. So let us draw a table. Now we have to draw a table. So take your scale, take your pencil, and let's draw a table. Draw neat table. The table gives us the answer. So the table is very, very important. You have to draw it neatly. The first one is for interval. So give the heading here interval. The next one is, you have here 3 factors, like you have x cube, x minus 1, x minus 2. So you are going to take 3 differently. Okay, you are going to take first x cube, then you have going to take x minus 1, then you are going to take x minus 2. So write down here sine of x cube sine of x minus 1 sine of x cube sine of x minus 1, then you take sine of x minus 2, and at the last you write down the whole expression, sine of x cube x minus 1 upon x minus 2. So this is the table. Okay. The same manner we have followed in our exercise 2.5. Yes children? So same manner you are going to follow here. So first interval, then you are going to take all the factors, x cube, then you are going to take x minus 1, that is you are going to follow only the sign. We are not going to deal with the values over here, we are going to deal only with the signs. So you have to take sine of x minus 1, then you have to take sine of x minus 2, and then you have to write down sine of x cube, the whole expression, x cube x minus 1 upon x minus 2. Okay. Now let us write down the interval. I had told you how to go for the interval. Just take the intervals, choose the interval properly. So minus infinity to 0, use a open interval. Okay, minus infinity 0, next 0 to 1, next 1 to 2, and we have one more. Yes, so we have to draw one more column there, one more row. Then 2 to infinity. Draw the table children. First one is minus infinity to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to infinity. So now we are going to find out the sign of the different factors. Let us go for the signs, children. So let us go for the first interval. What is the first interval? Minus infinity comma 0. Now minus infinity comma 0. So you have to choose any value between minus infinity 0. Let us choose any one value. Okay. Shall I take minus 1 here? Yes, we have here minus 1. Okay. So I am going to take x is equal to minus 1. So just write down here x is equal to minus 1. I am going to just choose a value between minus infinity to 0. So I am going to choose a value for x as minus 1. Are you getting my point, children? Because minus 1 lies to this side, children. The minus 1 is lying between minus infinity to 0. So let us take the value for x as minus 1. Now here we are not going to find out the value for x. We are just going to find out the value for the sign, or we are just going to focus on the sign. This is minus 1 and this is x cube. So minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. What is the answer, children? Minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. It's minus. Minus into minus into minus. You get minus. Okay. Minus 1 minus 1. What is minus 1 minus 1? Okay, I'll just see here. Minus 1 minus 1. Minus minus, the answer is going to be plus. Okay, but we are going to write the sign of the bigger number as minus. So minus minus, you will get a negative answer. So the answer is minus. Now again you have minus 1 minus 2. So minus 1 minus 2. Minus minus. So you have the answer as minus 3. So we are not worried about the values. We are not going to write the values. We are just going to focus only on the sign. So I get a negative sign. Now let us go for the next one. That is for the last part, no need to substitute the value over here. We can directly write the sign over here. So how are we going to do? See here. Minus minus plus, plus into minus, minus. Very simple. Minus minus plus, plus into minus, minus. So we got the value over here. Now 0 comma 1. Try to take a value between 0 and 1, children. 0 and 1. Shall we take 0.5? Okay, so you are going to write down here x is equal to 0.5. So take the value for x as 0.5 or 0.5. Okay, now let us go for the sign. Sign of x cube. This is a positive number. And the cube of a positive number, 0.5 into 0.5 into 0.5. The answer will be positive. Okay. Now 0.5 minus 1. A small number minus a bigger number. You are going to get a negative answer. That is 0.5 minus 1 is 0.5. 0.5 is half. So what is the difference of 1 and half? It's half. And the sign will be minus because the bigger number is 1. You get a negative sign. Now 0.5 minus 2. 0.5 minus 2. So this is half minus 2. So you get 1.5. The bigger sign is minus. So you get minus 1.5. So this is minus. Now let us go for the final answer. Plus minus. Plus into minus, minus. Minus into minus, plus. Yes, I get the answer plus. I hope you are clear, children. So what was the value we have taken here? We have chosen a value between 0 and 1. That is, I have taken as 0.5. So when you cube it, I have told you that we are not worried about the values. We are just going to think of the sign. So 0.5 into 0.5 into 0.5 is going to give you a positive answer. That is, cube of a positive number is positive. So 0.5 minus 1 is minus. 0.5 minus 2 again gives you a negative answer. So plus into minus, minus. Minus into minus, plus. Or you can keep this plus as it is. Minus minus gives you plus. So plus into plus, plus. Okay. Now try for 1, 2. You are going to choose one value. This is 1, 2. So what is the value between 1 and 2 children? It's 1.5. So right down here you can take 1.5. Yeah, we can. That will be the easy value. So find out the sign for the remaining columns. So we had an interval 1, 2 children. Okay. So what are you going to do? You are going to choose a value between 1 and 2. So what are we going to take? We are going to take the value for x as 1.5. Okay children. So now let us get the value for x cube, x minus 1 and x minus 2. And once you find out this 3, you can directly go for the last part. Okay, come on, try out the work. Try out the answer. You have to try by yourself children. Just work out. The more you practice, the more you become perfect. Just go on practicing. Be careful with the sign. There's what you make mistake. Just check. You have to put the sign of the bigger number. So just go with the calculation properly. Okay. I hope you have completed. So we have chosen x is 1.5. Yes, children? So this is a positive number. So when you cube a positive number like 1.5 into 1.5 into 1.5 is going to give you a positive answer. 1.5 into 1.5 into 1.5, you will get a positive answer. So put here positive. Now this is 1.5 minus 1. 1.5 minus 1. 1.5 minus 1 will give you a positive answer. 1.5 minus 1. So you get 0.5. So you get a positive answer. 1.5 minus 2. Be careful here. 1.5 minus 2. So small number minus big number. A smaller number minus a bigger number. So the sign will be minus. If bigger number minus smaller number, if you just subtract, if you are taking the difference of a bigger number and a smaller number, like first the bigger number comes and then the smaller number comes, you will get a positive answer. If the smaller number comes first and the bigger number comes next, you will get a negative answer. See here, 1.5 minus 1, I got a positive answer. 1.5 minus 2 will give you a negative answer. So 1.5 minus 2 is 0.5. The bigger number is 2. So minus 0.5. So minus. Plus into plus, plus. Plus into minus, minus. So plus into plus, plus. Plus into minus, I get a minus answer here. Or 2 comma infinity. 2 comma infinity means you can choose any value. You have lot of values. I'll just take the number 3. Okay children, I'll just choose the number 3. So write down x is equal to 3. You can take 4, you can take 5. It's of your choice. Okay, now x is equal to 3. Again, I have a positive number, and if I cube a positive number, 3 into 3 into 3, I'll get a positive answer. So positive. Okay, complete the remaining tables. It's very easy. So 3 minus 1. What is 3 minus 1? It's 2. So it is a positive answer. Yes, you get a positive answer here. Okay, I get a positive one here. Then 3 minus 2. What is 3 minus 2? It's 1. Again, the answer is positive. Yes. So positive into positive, positive. Positive into positive. Again, positive. Here all the terms are positive. So the answer is going to be positive. So we have completed the table. Now the question here is you have to find out all the values of x. So let's see how to complete the answer. So what is the thing? We have to find out the answer for x. Okay. For finding the answer of x, let us go for the condition. What is the condition given to you? X cube, x minus 1 upon x minus 2 is greater than 0. That means you have to choose a value which is greater than 0. Now, just consider the number line, children. This is 0 here, and we have a positive numbers here, and we have a negative numbers here. Okay? Are you listening to me, children? Listen to me carefully. Now this is the thing that you will do. That is okay, but you have to arrive at a final conclusion. So once you are clear with the statement, you can arrive at the solution. Now the question says that this part, that is x cube x minus 1 upon x minus 2 is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means you have to focus on the right side. Greater than 0. Okay? If greater than 0 means which numbers are you going to focus on? You are going to focus on the positive numbers. So in which row do you have a positive number? This is positive and this is positive. Getting my point, children? Because this is greater than 0. The expression is greater than 0. Yes, greater than 0 means you are going to focus on the right side. What do you have on the right side of 0? You have the positive numbers on the right side of 0. So you are going to take the positive values. So two intervals have positive values, that is between 0 and 1 and 2 comma infinity. So let us write the final statement. Write on, therefore solution set is solution set is, okay, so I am going to write on the solution set. I have told you that we are going to choose the positive value. That means I am going to choose the interval 0 comma 1 and 2 comma infinity. So solution set is 0 comma 1 union 2 comma infinity. That's all, very easy. Okay, so this type of question can be asked for 3 marks. Yeah, maybe they will ask for 3 marks. Very easy sum. Okay, children, have you taken down? Okay. Now let's come for the homework part. Your homework is from 2.8, the second question and the third question. From 2.8, question number 2 and question number 3. I'll just mark down the homework here. Write down the homework here. Homework, exercise 2.8, sum number 2 and sum number 3. Okay, children, you have to try out the sum number 2 and sum number 3 by this model. You have to just find out the critical values first. After finding the critical values, draw the number line and try to get the intervals. And after you get the interval, just you go on drawing the table and focus on the signs. And just go for the condition, whether you just check whether you have to go for the greater than 0 or you have to go for the less than 0. Greater than 0 means you have to go for the positive value. And if it is less than 0 means you have to go for the negative value. So try to choose the proper interval and write the solution set. I hope you will be able to do the sum, children. Okay. Now let's continue with a new topic today. That is, today we are going to solve the sums based on partial fractions. And this partial fraction, that is, we are going to solve exercise 2.9. And as we go on solving 2.9, you will get an idea of how to solve the partial fractions. So we are going to start with exercise 2.9. Have you taken down this table, children? Okay, good. Write down exercise 2.9. Give the heading, resolve the following rational expressions into partial fractions. Resolve the following rational expressions into partial fractions. And partial fraction is one of the important topic, and you may have a question of 3 mark or 5 mark from this exercise. So this is a very, very important exercise, and I'll tell you how they give you what type of questions will be asked for 3 marks and what type of questions will be asked for 5 marks. So just when we go on solving the sums, I'll give you an idea. Okay, this type of questions, what is the weightage of that question. Shall we start, children? Are you ready with the first question? Take on the first question, 1 upon x square minus a square. Have you noted down the homework, children? let's take the first question. 1 upon x square minus a square. This is very easy, and at the same time this is scoring. Okay, once you are clear with the concept, you can just score full marks, but be careful. You have to think, and you have, in some cases we are going to choose the values, so you have to be very careful when you choose the values. That's all. Once you are choosing a proper value for x, everything is done. We are able to get all the unknown values. Okay, so we have 1 upon x square minus a square. So what is the work is, you are going to try to write down the denominator as a factor form. So how can be x square minus a square written as? Yeah, we can write x square minus a square as, I'll be writing down over here, this is equal to x minus a, x plus a. So I am using the identity a square minus b square. What is the identity? A plus b into a minus b. That is a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. Yes, children. So when I apply this identity, that is when I apply the identity for a square minus b square, I get x square minus a square as 1 upon, that is 1 is already present in the numerator, so I am going to keep numerator part as it is, and x square minus a square turns to be x minus a, x plus a. Is the first step clear to you, children? This is the first step, and this is a very important step where you should not make any mistake. If the first step itself is wrong, everything is going to be wrong. Are you getting my point, children? So factor or take the factors properly. Try to use the identity or try to factorize and get the values. Okay, so here x square minus a square turns to be x minus a, x plus a. Now let's see how to do the work. So I am going to take the answer part. So 1 upon x minus a, x plus a. So how many factors do you have here? You have 2 factors. Okay, children, this is x and this is x. So how many factors do we get here? 2. So what I am going to do here, just observe carefully, children. So I am going to, what is that? Question is, you are going to resolve into partial fractions. Okay, so we are going to break it. So this is given as a upon, because here how many factors are there? 2. So that means I have to get 2 factors. We are going to find out 2 unknown values. So this is a upon x minus a plus b upon x plus a. Are you getting the point, children? I hope you are clear. See, I am just splitting this, that's all. I am not doing any other changes. X minus a, so for x minus a I am giving the value a. So I am writing this as a upon x minus a. Main sign you use always as a plus, and for x plus a I am using a b. So b upon x plus a. Are you clear with this part, children? So these 2 factors, yes, x minus a, x plus a. So you have to split it, or you have to break it, and you have to give 2 unknowns. So a upon x minus a plus b upon x plus a. Now what we are going to do next here, keep this as it is. Okay, 1 upon x minus a, and this is our answer. This is what the answer is. So we have to, now what is the work is, we are going to solve and we have to get the value for a and b. So once we get the value for a and b, you have to substitute the value over here, and you get the answer. Getting my point, children? What is the question? You have to resolve the expression into partial fractions. So you have been given with the expression. So I have factorized it. After factorizing it, I am going to resolve it. I am going to just break it into partial fractions. So I am just giving your 2 factors were there. So I have used the unknown value a and used the unknown value b. So this is the actual step that you have to get. So now only one thing is left, or what you are going to do, you are going to find out the value for a and you are going to substitute here. You are going to find the value for b and you are going to substitute here. Is the step clear, children? Okay. Now let us go for the next step. Just stay on this step, children. Stay on the first step. Stay on second step. You are just breaking it. Okay. Now let's go for the third step. X minus a, x plus a is equal to cross multiply. So a x plus a plus b x minus a upon x minus a, x plus a. Are you doing this step, children? I hope you are clear. Just cross multiplying. A into x plus a plus b into x minus a upon x minus a into x plus a. Okay. Now just observe carefully. You have the same denominators on the LHS and the RHS. So we can cancel the same denominators. And now what is left? 1 is equal to a x plus a plus b x minus a. So this is what is left out. So 1 is equal to a x plus a plus b x minus a. Are you clear with this part, children? So we have cross multiplied and we have made the denominators common. See, on the LHS and the RHS we get the same denominator, and now we are just going to consider the numerator. So what is the numerator here? 1, yes, is equal to, okay, a x plus a plus b x minus a. Clear, children? Okay. Now we are going to find out the value for a and b. That's what we have to do. Okay. Now what are we going to do is, we are going to assume the value of x. That is our work. We have to find, or we have to just assume a value for x, and we are going to find out the values for a and b. Now just see here, children, carefully. What is the value with, what is with x here? X is with plus a. Okay, children. So if I take x is equal to minus a, what I am going to do? I am going to take x as minus a. So if I take x is equal to minus a, what will happen? Minus a plus a, it gets cancelled. That means the a term will become 0. So we can find out the value for b. Are you getting my point? So what are we going to do? You have to just see the x value. So what is the x, or what is the factor with here? X is with plus a. So how can I eliminate this term? How I can remove this term? If I take x is equal to minus a. So write down here, put x is equal to minus a. So wherever you have x, you have to put as minus a. From where I am getting minus a, I have to just take the opposite sign. So here I am having plus a, yes, children, that is with x I have plus a. So you are going to take x is equal to minus a. Okay. Now let us put the value for x as minus a. 1 is equal to a. Okay. In place of x, I should put minus a. So what I'll get? Minus a plus a. I'll just, for this step, I'll write fully. For the next step, we'll do it directly. Okay, children? So put your minus a plus b minus a minus a. Are you clear with this step? So x is equal to minus a. So minus a. So everything I'm just writing the same. I'm just going to change x. So wherever you have x, you have to write there as minus a. So 1 is equal to a. This is minus a plus b minus a minus a. Now minus a plus a, 0. So anything multiplied by 0? 0. So what is left here? 1 is equal to b minus a minus a. What is minus minus? Minus 2a. Minus minus plus. So a plus a, 2a, along with the sign minus. Getting the point, children? So what do you get here? 1. This term becomes 0 because minus a plus a gets cancelled. So 0 into a is going to give you 0. So 1 is equal to b minus 2a. So very simple. I got the value for b. What is the value for b? b is equal to 1 upon minus 2a. So you have to write as 1 minus 1 upon 2a. Try to keep the negative on the numerator part. Do not keep the negative on the denominator part. So we have got the value for b. What is the value for b? It's minus 1 upon 2a. Okay, children? Okay. Now you are going to complete the second part. Is the first part clear to you? Have you found the value for b? Yes. So now what are you going to do? You are going to find out the value for a. Come on, try out. So what are you going to do, children? Okay. Now what is with b? Just see, to eliminate a, I have taken x as minus a. Yes, children. So for removing this b term, what I have to take? X as, yes. Here I have minus a. Yes, children. So what you have to take? Yes, you have to take x is equal to a. Come on, put the value for x as a. I need this step, so I'll just keep this step because I have to put the value over here. So I'll just continue that side. Okay, I'll just continue here. So I'll put x is equal to a. I told you I'll do it directly. First step I have shown you how to do the work. Now 1 is equal to, this is a plus a, 2a. So a into 2a plus b, a minus a. What is a minus a? 0. So this term gets vanished. So a is equal to 1 upon 2a. So I have found the value for a. What is the value for a? A is 1 upon 2a. So we have found the value for b, and also we have found the value for a, b and a. Now let us complete the answer. I hope you are clear, children. So how to choose the value? Be careful. See, you have to get the value for a and b. Yes, children. So we cannot find out two unknown value. So what you have to do is we have to remove one value at a time. So how can you remove this a? Here x is with plus a. So if I put here minus a, what will happen? You can remove the a term. Yes. So if you remove the a, you can get the value for b. And similarly, when you are finding for a, you have to remove b. That's all. So how to remove b? Here you have minus a. So you have to put here plus a. So a minus a will give you 0. So the b term will be removed. So you will get the value for a. Are you getting my point, children? So be careful. So we have found the value for a and b. Now let us substitute the value. I'll just keep this point for my reference. So I'll get here therefore 1 upon x minus a, x plus a is equal to a. What is a, children? 1 upon, diagonal lines, 1 upon 2a x minus a plus minus 1 upon 2a x plus a. Okay. So I'll rub this part now. Okay. So I have substituted the value for a and b. Now we have to just write down in proper order. So this is, write the question here. So 1 upon x square minus a square is equal to 1 upon 2a. Yes, children. So you write down 1 upon 2a. Bring the 2a to the denominator part. X minus a plus minus. What is plus minus? Minus 1 upon 2a x plus a. This is the answer. Have you taken down the answer, children? So it's 1 upon 2a x minus a minus the plus minus. Yes, so plus minus you change in terms of minus 1 upon 2a x plus a. I hope you are clear. The more the sums we do on this step, you will be clear with the partial fractions. So here from exercise 2.9, you have to complete the second question as homework. From exercise 2.9, the second question will be homework. You have to follow the same type as you followed for the first question. So first question and the second question is of the same type. You have to use A and B and you have to get the answer. Okay, children? Try out the sum. Okay. Now let us go for the third question. Now third question is a question. So I have told you, yes, 2 mark and 3 mark and 5 mark. So such type of questions can be asked for 2 to 3 marks, where you have two unknowns, like you are having only A and B unknowns. Okay, children? But now see for question number 3, we have there 4 unknowns. Let's see how you get 4 unknowns there. Okay, so we are going to start with the third question. The third question is of 5 marks. If they ask this question, it will be for 5 marks. Third question is x upon x square plus 1 x minus 1 x plus 2. Okay, this is the question. X upon x square plus 1 x minus 1 x plus 2. Okay, so we have taken on the question properly. Now let us understand the concept here. Okay, children. Now here no need to do any factorization. In the previous sum, that was in the first sum, they have given you x square minus a square. So we have used the identity a square minus b square and we splitted it like x plus a, x minus a. Yes, children. Here no need to split. Already everything is given in a proper order. Do not split this. This is plus 1. X square plus 1. We cannot do anything over here. X square minus 1 means we can do the splitting. Yes. X square minus 1 means x plus 1, x minus 1. So there is a difference. X square minus 1 means 1 can be written as 1 square. So you get x plus 1, x minus 1. This is x square plus 1. So I cannot do any splitting work. So x square plus 1 you keep as it is. Okay. Now listen carefully how we are going to break this. X square, the power is 1 here. Okay. 1 means 1 value. What is the power here? 1. That means 1 value. But here what power? How many power is there? 2. That is, what is the power here? 2. That means you have 2 unknown value. So how are you going to take the 2 unknown value? A, x plus b. You are not going to write a plus b. Instead of writing a plus b, you are going to write on ax plus b. Why I am writing here ax plus b? Because the power is 2. What do you mean by the power 2? The power 2 indicates that you have to get how many values? You have to get 2 values. Are you getting my point, children? Yes. So x square plus 1 will give you ax plus b. That is, you have to find out 2 unknown values. Do not write a plus b. Just keep in your mind, you have to write ax plus b. Now, let us resolve it. This is x square plus 1. Okay, children. So, 2. 2 means I got 2 unknown. 2 power 2 unknown. Okay. Now, let us give the next. Let us go for the next part. I'll put the main sign as plus. X minus 1. Okay, children. X. So, only 1 power. The power is 1. So, only 1 unknown. So, C upon x minus 1. Can you tell me the next one? What will be the sign? Plus. Yes, good. The sign will be plus. Again here. What is the power of x, children? It is 1. Yes, when the power is 1, how many unknown value will get there? 1. So, you have to put here ds upon x plus 2. So, this is the statement. This is what we have to find the answer for. So, you have to find the answer for, that is, you have to find the value for a, b, c, d, and then you have to substitute all the value and you have to get the answer. Are you getting my point, children? Are you clear with this expansion? Yes. Why I am writing here ax plus b? Because here the power of x is 2. What do you mean by power 2? That means you have to take 2 unknown. 1 power. So 1 value. 1 power. So 1 value. Are you clear, children? So here how many values are we going to find out? 4 unknown values. Yes, children? So this type of question will be for 5 marks. Okay. Shall we proceed now here? Okay. So let us go for the next step. Therefore, x upon x square plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 2, this is equal to, just cross multiply, that's a very easy thing. Here we have x square plus 1, yes, children. So which terms are missing? X minus 1, x plus 2. That means I should get the same denominator like on the LHS, so that I can cancel the denominators and I will be solving the numerator part. So what is the denominator here? X square plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 2. So here only x square plus 1 term is there. Yes, children. So you are going to multiply with x minus 1, x plus 2. So this is ax plus b, x minus 1, x plus 2. Okay. Plus c. We'll write the denominator together. I'll put a common denominator later on. Now c. What is the denominator for c? X minus 1. So which terms are missing? X square plus 1, x plus 2. So x square plus 1, x plus 2. I hope I am going slow. You just understand the concept. It's a very important question and this is a 5 mark question. So you may be asked this question for 5 marks. So you have to be very careful. So ax plus b, I have written x minus 1, x plus 2 because these terms were missing here. I have to make the same denominator like here, like on the LHS. Plus d, x plus 2 is here, children, x plus 2. So which term is missing? Yes, x square plus 1, x minus 1 upon. Now I'll write down all the denominators together. X square plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 2. I hope you're clear. We have already done this type of sum in our 10th standard, children, in when we did our third lesson. So ax plus b. So your x minus 1, x plus 2 was missing. So I multiplied by that term. Here x square plus 1, x plus 2 was missing. So I multiplied by that term. And for d, x square plus 1 and x minus 1 was missing. So we multiplied. Now we got a common denominator on the LHS and the RHS. So we can cancel the denominators. So now these are the numbers that are left out. It's a very big sum, yes, lengthy sum. Let's take down the equation. X is equal to ax plus b, x minus 1, x plus 2 plus c, x square plus 1, x plus 2 plus d, x square plus 1, x minus 1. Okay. So we have got the denominator same. So we cancel the denominator and we have taken the numerator part. Okay. Now I have told you that we have to eliminate some of the term. To eliminate some of the term, just go on taking the opposite values. Just see here the x value, children. What is with x here? Minus 1. Okay. So if I take x is equal to 1. Okay, getting my point, children? If you take x is equal to 1, what you get? 0. That means you get a answer 0. That means this whole term will become 0. Are you getting my point? Just we cannot go on substituting the value, children. So you have to be clear with the concept. If I take x is equal to 1. If I put x is equal to 1. Here this is 1 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So when you are multiplying by 0, the whole term becomes 0. So this term becomes 0. Okay. Yeah, and one more thing, see. Here we are not having minus 1. So here this term will not go. Yes. Yeah. Here we are having minus 1. That means this term also will go. So d term also goes off. Getting my point? So write down here. Put x is equal to 1. So what are we going to do? We are going to put x is equal to 1. So when you put x is equal to 1, this is x, yes? So 1 is equal to, I told you, when you put here 1, what will happen? 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So this term will become 0. So I am not going to write down this term. So this is 0. Here, plus c, 1 square. What is 1 square? 1 plus 1. 1 plus 2 plus d. This is 1 square plus 1. Okay, but here we have x minus 1. So 1 minus 1 gives you 0. So this term becomes 0. Are you clear with this step, children? We have taken x is equal to 1. So if I put 1 here, this term becomes 0. So when you multiply by 0, I get a 0 answer here. Similarly, here I don't have x minus 1. So I have just substituted the value for x. So c, 1 square is 1 plus 1. 1 plus 2. That's 1 plus 2. Here again I have x minus 1 here. So 1 minus 1 gives you 0. And if you multiply by 0 to this term, you are going to get a 0 answer. So I put here 0. Now let us solve here. So 1 is equal to, this is c, 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3. So 1 is equal to c into 6. So you write down here, therefore c is equal to 1 upon 6. So we have found one value. From 4, we got one value. So 1 is equal to c6. Therefore, c is equal to 1 upon 6. So we have found the first value. by taking x is equal to 1. Now let us go for the next value. What can we do now here? See, here we have plus 2, so I am going to take here minus 2. If I take minus 2, what happens? This term will become 0. Here see, here we have plus 2, yes? So this term will become 0. So only d term will be left out. So let us take x is equal to 2. I'll just rub the second part. Don't write the first step again because I want that for the answer part. So I am going to put x is equal to 2. Not 2, this is plus 2, yes? So I have to take x is equal to minus 2. Put x is equal to minus 2. So when I put x is equal to minus 2, this becomes 0. So this term becomes 0. This term becomes 0. And this term becomes 0. X plus 2. So minus 2 plus 2, 0. So what is left now here? Minus 2. X is here, na? So x means minus 2 is equal to, this term becomes 0. This term becomes 0. This is d. Minus 2 square. What is minus 2 into minus 2? 4. So 4 plus 1. Minus 2 minus 1. Minus 2 minus 1. So minus 2 is equal to d 5 minus 3. Minus 2 minus 1 minus 3. So minus 2 is equal to d into minus 15. 5 into minus 3 minus 15. So we can cancel minus sign minus sign. So d is equal to 2 upon 15. So we got the value for d. So we have to do it directly. We cannot go on putting the value because already the statement is a lengthier statement. So if you go on putting the value, you will get a bigger statements. So try to do it directly. So we get the value for d. I got the value for d, that is 2 by 15. I hope you are clear, children. So what we have done, we have taken the value for x as minus 2. So when I put here minus 2, the whole term becomes 0. When I put here minus 2, the whole term becomes 0. That means ax plus b term becomes 0, c term becomes 0. So only d term is left, okay. So minus 2 square, that's 4 plus 1. Minus 2 minus 1. So just simplify, you get the value for d as 2 by 15. Okay, so now we don't have any other choices. So I have found the values for x. 1 I took 1 and 1 I took as minus 2. So now what are we going to do the next? I am going to put x is equal to 0. Try for x is equal to 0. Get on, put x is equal to 0. So we had here x's. So 0 is equal to ax plus b. So a into 0 plus b. Then what you have? X minus 1, x plus 2. Yes, children? So x minus 1. What is x minus 1? 0 minus 1 is minus 1. 0 plus 2 is 2. Shall I write the statement again for you? Okay, it was like this. X is equal to ax plus b, x minus 1, x plus 2, and c was with that. Yes, children? I'll write the statement here. C, x square plus 1, x plus 2, plus d, x square plus 1, x minus 1. Yes, this was the statement. Okay, so now what we are planning for? We are planning for x is equal to 0. So here you get 0, a into 0, 0, so b is left here. 0 minus 1, minus 1, 0 plus 2, 2. C, 0 square is 0, 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 2, 2, plus d. 0 square plus 1, 1, 0 minus 1, minus 1. It's a bit confusing. I didn't see your faces. Okay, see here, children. Put x is equal to 0. So first we choose the value for x is 1 and minus 2 from the question itself. Okay. So we don't have further choices of choosing the value for x. So what we do is we take the x as 0. So wherever you have x, you have to put there as 0. We cannot just go on doing the substitution, children. You have to just do it mentally and you have to get the answer. So x 0, a into 0, 0. So that term goes off. So what is left here? From this 2, what is left? B is left. 0 minus 1, minus 1. 0 plus 2, 2. Okay. C. 0 plus 1, 0 square is 0. So 0 plus 1, 1. 0 plus 2, 2. D. 0 square plus 1. 0 square plus 1, 1. 0 minus 1, minus 1. Okay, children. Now let's try to simplify this. 0 is equal to minus 2b plus 2c minus d. Minus 1 into 2, minus 2. 1 into 2, 2c. 1 into minus 1, minus 1 into d, minus d. I know some of the values, children. I know the value for c and d. Let us substitute the value here. So 0 is equal to minus 2b plus 2 into 1 by 6 minus 2 by 15. So 0 is equal to minus 2b plus 2 1 by 6 minus 2 by 15. Okay, children, let us simplify this. So what do you get here? So 0, I'll just bring this 2b to this side. So 2b is equal to 2 by 6 minus 2 by 15. So this is 1s are 3s are. This is a lengthier sum, yes, children. So I'll just get here 2b is equal to 1 by 3 minus 2 by 15. So multiply by 5, multiply by 5. 5 upon 15 minus 2 upon 15. So 3 upon 15. So you get 1 by 5. So 2b is equal to 1 by 5. So b is equal to 1 by 10. The 2 comes to the denominator. So you get b is equal to 1 by 10. Just go for the calculation. So I had 2 by 6 minus 2 by 15. So 1 by 3. I want to make the denominator same. So I just multiplied by 5 to the numerator and denominator. So 5 upon 15 minus 2 upon 15. 5 minus 2, 3 upon 15. So 1 upon 5. 2b is 1 upon 5. So b is equal to, bring this 2 to the denominator. So b is 1 by 10. So we have found the value for b. We found the value for b. We found the value for c. We found the value for d. So a is left. Let us find out the value for a. You are going to take along with me. Do not waste the time. This is just for my reference. I want this step. You have this step in your book, so you can refer there. I would just want the step. Okay. Shall I rub this part, children? You have to do the sums along with me, children. Okay. I'll rub this. Now you have one more thing. We have to find out one more thing. So I have chosen the value for x from the question itself. Then I have taken x is equal to 0. Now what are you going to do? Now what are we going to do is, we are going to take the highest power of x. I'll just tell you how. Equating with coefficient of x cube. Now you may, what is the statement? Equating with coefficient of x cube. So from where ma'am is taking x cube? Okay. Now just see here. X. So when I multiply this, I get ax into x into x. I get x cube. That means when I multiply, just when I expand the term, ax into x, it gives you x cube. So what is the highest power used here? The highest power used here is x cube. Are you getting my point, children? Ax, listen carefully. Ax plus b, x minus 1, x plus 2. Just take the x value. X into x into x, x cube. So we get x cube here. X square into x, x cube. X square into x cube. So what are you going to do? We are going to equate, write down, equating with coefficient of x cube. Equating with coefficient of x cube. So what do you get here? So what are the coefficients? Here we don't have x cube. So this is 0. This is a. For a I'll get x cube. But for b, see, b is not having x. So b, when I multiply for b, I'll get x into x. So I'll get x square. For a I am having x. So for a I'll get x cube. So you have to write only the coefficient as a. For c you have x cube. X square into x cube. For d, x square into x cube. So 0 is equal to a plus c plus ds. So let us substitute the value. So 0 is equal to, what is a? We don't know a. C I know. What is c? What is the value for c, children? 1 by 6. And this is 2 by, c is 1 by 6 and d is 2 by 50. So take, okay, we'll take a to this side. So minus a is equal to 1 by 6 plus 2 by 15. I'll just cross multiply. So 15 plus 12 upon 90. So minus a is equal to 27 upon 90. So 9 3s are 9 10s are. So minus a is 3 by 10. So a is equal to minus 3 by 10. So we have found the value for a. What is the value for a? We get the value for a as minus 3 by 10. The sum is not complete, children. You have to do one more work. So what are you going to do? As we have substituted for a, b in the previous cases. So we have got the value for a, b, c, d. So now you have 2 more steps to do. And you are going to do that 2 steps as homework. So once you go on practicing, you will get an idea. So what are you going to do? You're going to substitute the value for a here. You're going to substitute the value for b here. You're going to put the value of c here. You're going to put the value of d here. Okay, children? You substitute the value and you have to write the final answer. Are you getting my point, children? So what you're going to do? You have 2 more steps. So we have found the value for a. Now the next work is you are going to substitute the values of a and b and you are going to get the final answer. So this is your homework. So 2 more lines is your homework. I want you to try out the last 2 parts. Okay, children? So what's your homework? Your homework is from 2.8 question number 2 and 3, and from 2.9 you have to do the second sum, and also you have to complete the last 2 steps. Only you have to substitute the value for a, b, c, d, and you have to write down the proper answer. Okay, because you will have the answer in the numerator itself, you will have the answer in form of fraction. So bring the denominator to the denominator part. Okay, children? Okay, so we will be continuing with the remaining sums in the next class.